All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in 1/3, and Adawan Ratazah. This lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and the Wada Abanawa Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Forgive me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, the Motb is going to blindside these people. Okay? Prophecy is going to blindside these people. All right? And I really want to push the notion in this lesson for you out there, all right, the sincere servants of Yahweh Bashem Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash, to truly thank Yahweh Bashem Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, for giving you the understanding to retain this information, this knowledge, this truth, and just truly thank Yahweh Bashem Shai that you can receive it, man. All right. Now, what should I start off with first? I got something to say. Okay, I got something to say, but before I do, I must start with a scripture. So let's go to Revelations, and actually, let me do this. All right, this isn't gonna. It's gonna be a quick lesson. Okay, go over here. I actually also want to see. Let me do this. Let's see. What is the verse of the day? I'm just curious. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Psalms 91:4. How fitting. Okay, because Psalms 91 is going to take place before the destruction ultimately of Babylon after the mandatory marking of the beast, which is the sea hip. All right, we have the technology; it's here. And let me just say this: yes, I'm being inspired through the Rakakwadash to do another lesson on the Motb, and I actually just saw a brother right here. Look at that. GMS, the spirit of prophecy, Motb update. See? So the Holy Spirit is truly speaking. Look, Psalms 91:4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So this truth is our shield and buckler while we're waiting to be delivered by what the world ignorantly calls UFOs, which those are the Rakabium Shal Yasharala, chariots of Israel. Rakabium, chariots, Shal of Yasharala, Israel. Okay, so just wanted to read that real quick. Now let me read this. This is Revelations 1:3. Blessed is he, Barak, right? Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. So it is a blessing. Now, precept just came to mind. It is a blessing, okay, that we hear these prophecies. We hear about the warnings. We hear about the updates. This is the NLT. It is a blessing, okay? It is a blessing. Look at this. 1 Corinthians 14:22. So this is NLT, by the way. So you see that speaking in tongues, speaking in another language is a sign not for believers, but for unbelievers. Prophecy, however, is for the benefit of believers and not unbelievers. So guess what? For you brothers and you few sincere sisters out there, these lessons that come out pertaining to prophecy, that's for your ears. Okay, that's for you to continue to be built up, to be edified, to stay in the spirit, to understand that this prophecy is near. Okay, now let me say this real quick. The inspiration of this lesson came from a conversation of a coworker at work. Now, I was just doing my job, okay, and randomly a coworker asked me, he said, have you ever seen Black Mirror? This again, someone just randomly came up to me and he starts telling me about the episode of a woman that basically had the C hip put in her brain and their forehead, put in her brain, and pretty much that, it was a dystopia. She ended up getting put to death by her husband. I'm sure some of you've seen it. I'd even look it up. I guess we could look it up real quick. I said this was going to be short. Let me just do this real quick. Let me see what episode, because I don't have Netflix, so I haven't watched Black Mirror in a while, but I've gotten my fill. Let's put a woman gets brain shit. Let me see what comes up. Let's see. Season. Okay, I already seen that one. I think it's this one right here. Common People. Okay, let me put that in. This is the one he's talking about. So let's put Black Mirror. Oh, that's spiritual. Common People. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting excited. Let's put common. Okay, I think it's this one. Yep, right here. Okay, so this is he randomly telling me about this. All right, he's randomly telling me, and I don't cast my pearls among swine. Okay, but he told me that she this woman got what we know as the mark of the beast. And let me say this too: not everyone associates the C hip with the MOTB. Okay, you have to understand that people don't look at prophecy the way you do. Okay, and then I asked him, I let him explain everything. I listened to what he had to say, and all I asked was, I said, have you ever heard of the Neuralink? And he said, the what? So he didn't even know that the episode that he watched that he thought was crazy, he didn't even know that this tech is here in real time in real life. And then another coworker came up in the midst of the conversation. So I just threw it out there. I'm not advising you to do these things. It just happened. It just fell on my plate. So I said, hey, you know about the Neuralink, right? And he looked at me. He was like, the what? So the average American worker does not know about prophecy that's getting ready to happen. The average Christian is not even focusing on prophecy. They're just in the New Testament. Oh, you're just an Old Testament guy. Okay, the average human being does not know what's getting ready to happen. Okay, they do not know. Jake doesn't know. Okay, this is why it's such a blessing that we are in the know. All right, now I looked up the word blindsided, and it means to blindside someone means to surprise. So the MOTB prophecy is going to be a surprise. Babylon being destroyed is going to be a surprise. Or attack them unexpectedly from a vulnerable position, often when they are uninformed. Uninformed. The average human being on earth is uninformed. Okay. The average Israelite on earth is uninformed or unprepared. We are getting prepared. We're prepared, humbly speaking. If the deal were to go down today, you are going to walk into Jacob's trouble with whatever you've been learning from listening, and you will reap what you sowed from the walk right now. And I, humbly speaking, from a humble standpoint, I believe we'll be ready. I believe I will be ready because there's nothing else I can go with but faith. I believe, humbly speaking, that I would be ready to face death if this got presented before us, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to face death. And I remember that was one thing on my spirit when I first came into the truth. I said, I'm going to die for Yahweh Shemel Shai. And then as the years grew, the spirit started comforting more, and bringing out more precepts, and and ultimately we serve a God of the living. Okay. But the point is, in this walk, you have to understand that a part of prophecy being fulfilled, could you potentially become a martyr for Yahweh Shai. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna die, which, as Elder Yashwamba said, and I also believe, that don't mean we're even gonna feel pain. Okay, but besides that, that initial point, the point that I want to focus on here is these people are going to be blindsided by prophecy that let that sink in for a second. Okay, what you know when you're an Israelite, through faith what tribe you're from, in the name of the Lord. Remember, when Yahweh Shai comes back, it says no man knew his name. Okay, so Yahweh Shai's name, Yahweh's name. All right, what prophecy is. There's no private interpretation. Okay, we literally have been given the lyrics to the song that will give us stability in the time to come when everybody else wavers. Okay, and these people are going to crash and burn hard. It says this can be a physical attack, like a tackle in sports coming from their blind side, or a non-physical one, such as delivering bad news or criticism when someone isn't expecting it. These people aren't expecting what we're expecting, and we're expecting the unexpected. We're expecting Yahweh Shai to come as a thief. Okay, we're watching and we're waiting. All right, we're actually watching and waiting. This is a blessing. Let me continue. All right, let me continue. So I got that one out the way. Okay, let's see what else I want to get for you. Let's go right here. This is Sirach 3 and 20. It says, for the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Who's the lowly? We are. Okay, we are the lowly in this position of the flesh, but we are amongst the high in the spirit, though. Okay, we have spiritual riches, but you're surrounded by a carnal captivity. Brand whores. Okay, people only believe what they can see, but what can't be seen is forever, and what can be seen is temporal. So accept the position right now. I don't give a shit what people think about what kind of car I drive, what kind of job I have, what kind of clothes I'm wearing. What is that gonna? Where are you gonna be in Jacob's trouble? Okay, where are you gonna be at? Okay, it says, "Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee." So the best thing to be in the position is studying to show yourself approved amongst the readily available doctrine that's been given unto you. Don't be in that spirit of, well, I found this book of Jasher or Enoch and all that bugged out shit, but you can't even break Ephraim down. You can't even break Gad down. You don't even know why it says he teareth the arm, which with Gad teareth the arm is the blood brother pact that they made with one another. But the point is, there is so much information according to the doctrine that we've been given that you yourself should be staying immersed in, instead of looking up weird and bugged out TikTok videos and these too deep doctrines of men. All right. See, seek not other things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Right. Like unnecessary questions. Well, so how's it going to be? And then when you think, nah, man, just relax. This is why brothers are important, elders are important. Yahweh Shem Shai, guidance in the spirit is important. See, especially even with you sisters out here, you need to be guided. You need to be learned. Okay, and that's what the Holy Spirit is doing. It's building up Yahweh Shai's sheep before his return. Okay, and it says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. So you should be constantly thinking upon the truth, the doctrine, the understanding, the prophecies. All right, not in the spirit of rolling your eyes because another lesson pertaining to the Motb is coming out, and we're waiting for this prophecy to be fulfilled. You are in the position expecting a prophecy that's going to blindside the world. You know how amazing that is? You know how amazing that is? It says, for it is not needful for thee to see with thy eyes the things that are in secret. Exactly. Okay. We may meditate or, have certain descriptions of things, but a lot of things you just got to wait happen. You just got to let it play out and pray to Yahweh Shem Shai that you can receive it when it comes, because a lot of Jakes are going to be offended in Jacob's trouble. A lot of Jakes are going to renounce Yahweh Shem Shai, but really I should say God, Jesus, and Christ, because that's what they call upon. And a lot of Jakes are going to be calling on Yahweh Shem Shai when that judgment comes. Watch. And it says, be not curious of unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. That's exactly what I experienced today. Someone randomly came up to me, asked me about a Black Mirror episode, which is called Common People, right? Let me make sure. Common People, okay? Let's do Common People synopsis. Let's see. Let's make the double check. The story centers around a woman who needs a blah blah service to survive. Yup, exactly. High tech subscription. See? Okay. And what she get? She got the C hip put in her brain. And now it says common people, right? I'm getting so excited. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, one of my favorite precepts. I think it's 1st or 2nd Corinthians. Let me see. Right here. But I gotta put this in KJV because it has the word common in it. Okay, not the rapper. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, there has no temptation. Remember the hour of temptation. And as of late, I've been calling it the tower of temptation. But it is the hour of temptation which will try the world. It's going to blindside the world, and the world is going to be in a disarray. They're going to be in a confused state, and a lot of them are going to get it. Okay, you got men that are going to get it because their wife got it. All right, you're going to have men take the Motb because their wife took it. All right, so brothers, understand that, man. Okay, understand and hold firm. All right, that's why the scriptures say, "Seek thy own salvation." Now. Let me just continue with this. It says, there has no temptation taken you, but is common to man, common to people, common people. What are they telling you right here? I didn't even know this episode existed. Okay. But it says man's goings are of the Lord. All right. So this is an omen. All right. This idealism, predictive programming. So they're letting you know through Black Mirror that the common person or common people are going to experience this tech, and it will be needed to fix them. So what's going to happen in the world where when people need to be fixed, his only option to fix you is through the Motb miracles? What then? What do you then? This is why we walk by faith and not by sight. This thing is about to go down, man. And now you got the pestilences increasing. Okay, so we should be expecting something revolving around that, something revolving around finances, global trading, something revolving around how a one world government will fix whatever the world is experiencing, and they need to unify themselves to fix it, like the Tower of Babel. Hence why I call it the Tower of Temptation, because the Tower of Babel is back and it's being unified under the infrastructure of the Motb technology pertaining to Allen Iverson. Artificial intelligence, okay? And man is believing that they're creating their own God, okay? Because man is vain by nature. And that proves they don't have a God. What proves these people, these heathens don't got a God? Because they have idol worship, okay? Why is Jake worshiping idols? And somebody said, well, Spanish people, yeah, well, also in Hosea, it says Ephraim's joined to idols, leave them alone. That's why they're Gentiles. See? You damn heathens' fault, man. Okay? Now let's go back. 1 Corinthians 10:13, there has no temptation taken you, brothers and sisters, but such as is common to man. What will be common to man? The Motb, okay? But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. See? So we're going to be able to escape. Hey, Shalom, brother, Virgin Island Straight Gate. Glad to see you back online. Glad to see you're doing well. Okay, it says that ye may be able to bear it. Okay, see? So we're going to be able to bear this through the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, now from there, okay, and these people are going to be blindsided, going to be smacked in the face. What? I don't understand. Yep. Now what we got? Oh, now look at this. So at camp, we went into Sirach 38, and this is the spirit. So last camp, we had brought out how the average working man, he does this, he does that, but he's not going to be in a position of the throne of justice and judgment. Okay, they may know their craft very well, they may know their job very well, but when it comes to prophecy, they don't know nada. Okay, this literally happened. I was speaking to a coworker who's actually training me and very skilled in his craft, but when it came to the Motb and the technology of it, he had no idea what I was speaking about. And it's not that I brought any scriptures out. It's not that I brought any precepts. All he did was mention randomly this episode, and all I asked back was, "Oh man, damn!" I said, "You ever hear of Neuralink?" Like like plain dumb. Okay, just to see his response, and guess what he said? What is that? So, man, so people can see things that are predictive programming pertaining to prophecy, but not be able to link it to the scriptures, know that it's prophecy. This is why we're blessed. Having this knowledge, we are blessed, man. Oh my goodness. So don't for a second start putting yourself down. Man, I'm just through. And you got all this beautiful information. You got all this knowledge. And you got to shake that demon off, man. You ain't through. All right. You're an Israelite. You're alive. Okay. I was just thanking the Lord the other day for making me an Israelite man forever. Israelite man forever. You can be Israelite women forever. Come on. Okay. So now let's go back. So I got that one out the way. Let me just click this off. So check this out. This is Sirach 38. Let me see where I want to start. Sirach 38 and 31. It says, all these trust to their hands, the working man, right? What Colodro will say, the working man is a sucker, depending on whose business it is. The working man can be a sucker if he's just working to survive, pay bills, child support, please a woman, get by day to day. But if you are a working man for the Lord, meaning you're about the Father's business, you ain't a sucker, okay? You are blessed. So we are spiritual businessmen of Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Kakudash. And that's a beautiful thing to be a part of, even though the Lord told us it's a light thing. So we remain humble. But on our aspect, the reward that's coming for it, oh my goodness. So it says, All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work. Exactly. You go to any job, anybody, they seem like an expert. Damn, I don't even know how you did that. How you do that? How you do that, Hector? And Hector's good as shit about putting, fixing your car, maybe a mechanic. And like, shit, I didn't know about that sensor. I didn't know I had a tire pressure sensor, and that's why I was failing my inspection. But he may know that. But does Hector know about the MOTB? Does Hector know the name of the Lord, even though that's his God? No. I'm just using a random name, but I'm just making a point here for you brothers and sisters in your day-to-day walk. These are things that can pick your spirit up and keep you going, man. Okay? Knowing what the MOTB is, not even every Israelite camps. Not every Israelite camps know what the MOTB is, and at that, they refute when they hear the truth about it. Okay? So we ain't the average Hebrew Israelites over here. All right? It says, without these, cannot a city be inhabited? Exactly. You need construction workers, bridge workers, mechanics, police, architects, engineers, across the board. Okay. You need people, garbage men. I believe there's a strike in Philly. I don't know if it's continued. I'm not going to look it up, but you can look it up. But like, that's my point. So for the society to continue to fluctuate, I'm using the $3 word. Of course, you need the working class to do what they're supposed to do and do a good job at it. But what it says, right? It says, without these, cannot a city be inhabited? Absolutely. And they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for in public counsel. So ain't nobody looking for a mechanic to explain Revelations 13, 15 on down. Okay? A person ain't looking at a garbage man. The Ethiopian eunuch ain't going to go up to a crosswalk person and ask him, can you explain to me Isaiah 53? They ain't going to have that. That's not their lot. But you have men of the Lord that may even work in these certain environments, but they are going to be sought for. And this proves why there's going to be a famine of hearing the word. People, when the mark of the beast comes out, not everyone's going to know that that's the mark of the beast, and they're going to want to inquire, can they take it? Should they take it? Or what will happen if they take it? If you take the MOTB, you're going to be destroyed in the lake of fire, which will be the entirety, the circumference of America, known as Babylon the Great, through the thermonuclear missiles that will take place in the third world's woe. Okay? You will be, you have a front row ticket in the lake of fire. But can an average working class American tell you that? Can an average working class American open up the Bible and go into scriptures and break it down thoroughly with truth to you? No, because the majority of them, if they are religious, they're serving the God of their belief through their belly, through their emotion. These people don't know nothing. We are a secret society. We are a righteous secret society. Okay? We are the Illuminati on the right-hand side, illuminated ones. Okay, we are Lucifer. We're Luciferians on the right-hand side. What does Lucifer mean for any emotional person out there? Lucifer just means a light bearer. And what is light? Knowledge, understanding, or what? In our case, wisdom. So we have the light of truth. Okay, and it's shining in a dark place, which is the valley of the shadow of death. So this is a beautiful thing, man. It is a beautiful thing to be awoken. It's a beautiful thing to be alive. It is a beautiful thing to know what we know, man. Okay, it's a beautiful kept secret that's actually spoken about in public. And the average American has no effing idea. The average Israelite has no effing idea. Verse 33, they shall not be sought for in public counsel, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. Exactly. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken, but they will maintain the state of the world. And all their desire is in the work of their craft. I don't know. Shit, I just work here. Just a big fucking dummy. Excuse me. I'm trying to work on that. There's a big, just spiritually dead. Okay. Jake is the Lord is not dealing with all his people. All right. Now a heathen, they're just heathens. But when it comes to Jake, they're just through. They're just through. They're gone. There's nothing upstairs now. Chapter 39 in sequence. But look at this. Look at the opposite. Look at the opposite, people. Sirach 39:1. Verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High. So you got to actually make your mind continue to think upon Yahweh Shemel Shai. And I get it, man. The fucking job, the 40-hour work week, the job's very demanding. You got this, you got bills, you got responsibility, you got all these things going on, and you got to make this brain stay focused on Yahweh Shemel Shai, because it'll go off here, it'll go off there. Women, money, all just BS, all just mortal stuff that's set up to distract you. So you got to give your mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof. So you got to watch what is randomly, constantly running through your mind. Okay, you need to watch that shit, man. You need to check this fucking body. Excuse my language. You need to check this flesh. You need to check this brain. All right, and you need to think upon scriptures. Like I said to myself, I said, man, how come my mind don't just automatically, just daydream about scriptures? Because we're not receiving the fullness of the new covenant yet. This is why we're under grace. So when we're in the kingdom, our brains are not going to be dirty. Okay, now we have been brainwashed for this truth, but there's still a constant washing that you have to keep. Hence why it says the outward man perishes, but the inward man is renewed day by day by day. And you got to keep that. You got to keep that crown. Okay, you got to keep this knowledge near to you. Keep singing it. Keep the lyrics going. Okay, Revelations 13. Okay, Daniel 7. All right, Assyrian, Babylon, Medo-Persian, Greek, Rome, America. You got to go through these things. You got to keep that flowing. Motb, RFID, NFC. You got to keep things going. Okay, and it says, we'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy. See, it's a big difference. Humbly speaking, we are set apart from the average Israelite camp, because we in the spirit, the testimony of Yahweh Shai, having the spirit of prophecy. So we're occupied in prophecy. So when things happen, we immediately register it, filter it through scriptures and prophecy. So when somebody sees the Neuralink, some people don't even know about it, and not everyone is saying, oh man, that's Motb. That's why the prophets jump in and say what it is. Okay, the prophets tell you what it is. What it is, Jack. Okay, from there, Sirach 39:24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, they are stumbling blocks unto the wicked. So not everyone sees this truth as plain and simple as it is, and they're questioning it. I don't get it. I don't understand. But wait, I don't think Esau, you white man. I thought that the mark of the beast was you think it, and then you do it with your hand, and then you explain, and they're still not getting it. Like, all right, man. All right, well, if the Lord be with you, you'll get it another time. But if the Lord ain't with you, you ain't got it. Okay? Now, from there, let's get this. Daniel's 12:9. It says, and he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So that is an indicator of who the Lord is dealing with for those among our people to understand what the Motb is. But the portions of our people that don't understand it, that mean the Lord ain't with them. And if you ain't of the elect, you wicked. You're wicked. Okay, now I got one more. All right, Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing until, but it says, but I'll get a different translation, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So the prophets got the secrets, and the prophets are being inspired to tell these secrets publicly. But not every Israelite has the spiritual ears to hear the secrets, even though that they're being proclaimed publicly. Okay. And the individual who mentioned this Black Mirror episode to me randomly is a Israelite foreigner. And he was saying, I was like listening to him, and I said, well, let me just mention it. And I said, you heard of the Neuralink? I said, that's kind of sound like the Neuralink, huh? And he was like, what's that? And I didn't go into it. I didn't bring out scriptures. I didn't just do nothing. We're just right at work. So I just played it off like regular, but I was trying to see if he knew, and he ain't know shit. Okay, so be thankful to Yahweh Shemel Shai what you've been given, man. Okay, you've been given what most ain't got, and this is powerful. This is powerful what we're involved in, and you have to understand the magnitude of this, because the elite know, Okay, the elite know, and they want you to be dumb. They want you to be docile. What did Nero say? I love my poor, uneducated people. Well, we may be poor, but we're rich in faith. And the Most High said, I choose the poor of this world that are rich in faith. So I'll take that. All right. And guess what? Everything that you got right now, and being of the hopeful elect is what's going to get you through if you are of the elect in a time of Jacob's trouble while everyone else around you crashes and burn. Remember Psalms 91, 10,000 on thy right, 1,000 on thy left. That's a lot of people. And these people are going to fall soon, but they will be blindsided when this prophecy gets fulfilled. They're not going to know what it is. They're not going to know the results of what happens when they get it. Because remember, they're going to get a grievous sword too. So answer with the third letter of the alphabet, C, they're going to get that because of the Motb, and then they're going to be destroyed in the lake of fire from the prophetic judgment that will befall Babylon in the third world's woe. So, thank you, as they say, thank you, lucky star, man. Just Barakatah Yahweh Barakatah Yahweh Shai. What a beautiful thing that we have this knowledge and understanding. And if you don't see it now, you're going to see the benefits of serving the Lord. Okay. If you can't see it now, which you should be able to, you're definitely going to see in the times to come the benefits of seeking Yahweh Shem Shai while he may be found. Let me end it off on this. GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate. Yep, we're being tried in the Straight Gate, but it's better than to be judged in the broad gate. Revelations 3:11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast, which is this truth. Hold that fast, which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Do not let anybody take your crown. Some bugged out false prophet trying to woo you back to sleep. You should look at all these people as enemies of the faith, enemies of the doctrine, enemies of Yahweh Shem Shai, and enemies of your salvation. And don't give in to the enemy. Don't give in to the sleight of men in the cunning craftiness, because they're out here trying to get you. But if you're of the elect, you will not be deceived. So I'm going to end it there. Getting ready to enter the Sabbath, which this is the last Sabbath for this moon. And then tomorrow night, Friday, will be the new moon. And that will commence the new Sabbath for the month or moon, Friday to Saturday. So we'll have a double Sabbath, Thursday to Friday, Friday to Saturday. Okay. So with that being said, I just want to say, call Allah, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bashim El Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.